All right, welcome to another Startup Sac podcast where we interview Sacramento startup founders. Today, I've got with me twin brothers Donte and Dominic. Hi, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Why don't you start off, introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about your startup, your backgrounds, and then we'll dive a little deeper.
Okay, cool. Yep, so Dominic, we're both graduates from Sacramento State, and we started off by doing baseball leagues. Started up the Morris Baseball League as a college project just to get out there and try to affect like business with our passion, and just having that entrepreneur spirit kind of got us, in the mood to do more stuff entrepreneurial. And to talk about Hoop Maps, actually, we're users of basketball. We play pickup basketball regularly and couldn't find a way to consistently find pickup games. We'll go to park, and it'll be hard to find people out there playing consistently. So it was like, it must be a better way if we could find where people are at, and we could just go straight to them. Mm-hmm. And that's the birth of Hoop Maps.
Mm-hmm. When did that start?
That actually started about a year ago. I'm Donte Morris, by the way, but it started about a year ago where the idea came, and it was actually June of 2016 when we actually put our first release out on the App Store. Mm-hmm. So we creeping up on a year when it comes to June.
So how long from the time where you had the idea, I mean, you were out there looking to find a pickup game and the idea comes to you, let's make an app. How long from the time you had the idea to when you had a beta test of the app?
So it was 2015, like around fall, winter time, like around, the fall of 2015 where we thought about it hard. And just by like doing our research and stuff, it took us the first half of 2016 to really get things going. And Donte learned how to code, actually went to a couple boot camps and put his first code together to make our first very version of it. So I'll say about like a little over six months from thinking to actually having a product.
And what was it you said you doing the research? Was that going out and doing a market research and looking at the customers and seeing if they'd like it?
Exactly.
It's not only looking at the customers too, but we actually ask them, would they use it? Is it a good idea, but would it be practical? Would they actually use it every day? So it was just us kind of going in deep and seeing if this really a need, if people actually really need it. And then once we found out that most of our friends and most of the people that we researched need it, that's when it was full go and ready to invest all into it.
Was that a matter of going around, driving around and finding pickup games here in Sacramento? Or did you do some research outside of Sacramento too?
Yeah, so I work in the Bay Area. I was working in the Bay Area at the time, and I'll go to different gyms that's like heavily occupied by people, and I ask the people like that know where the good games are at, saying what they use it. They was like, when I go out of town or my friend come in town, I could see it being useful. So we had like an overall consensus of the use for this app. So that's why we went forward with it and put it in reality.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about, you said you both were Sac State students. What are your degrees at Sac State?
Both business. Mine's marketing and entrepreneurship, and I did general management.
Okay, but you taught yourself to code too, and you coded the app.
Yeah, because I figured out of both of us, like somebody need to know the technical side. Somebody need to know, what to do with Xcode, Swift, Objective-C, know what kind of language, how to deal with a designer, from that designer with different developers, if we want to go Android version. So somebody had to know the technical, at least language of getting it going. So I went through a couple boot camps, actually at Hackers Lab, where I took a couple 3-week courses, got the basic code out there, and that's what it was to kind of get us started.
So shout out to Hacker Lab for training up Donte.
Shout out to Hackers Lab.
Oh, we should also give a shout out to Trifecta Systems for letting us use this podcast studio. Thanks, guys. So you built the app in iOS, and you've got plans to build it out into Android as well, right?
Yes, we plan on really building up iOS, but we plan on releasing Android actually pretty soon.
Okay. So are you developing that too?
Nah.
Or you're kind of outsourcing that?
Yeah, now we want to, since it's been growing over the last couple of weeks, actually, me and Dominic roles has switched, and we really might want to outsource it to a more developed, professional developer that could kind of just do that task, while me and Dominic really focus on the business.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the business aspect of it. What's the business model for Hoop Maps?
So right now it's a completely free app, but we plan on having a subscription model. And part of our revenue model, of course, is going to be banner advertisement. But another one that we're real excited about is our coupon model, where we'll have specific advertisements for this specific group of people. And to access that, they'll pay in a yearly or monthly fee to have access to coupons of their favorite brands.
So like some athletic stores or that kind of thing?
Definitely. So like national and even local too. So like not only like clothing, apparel, or basketball tickets, but also like like Gatorade or Powerade and stuff where we could work with local gas stations, local convenience store where you could be anywhere across the nation that could participate in it.
And since our app is geolocated, we're able to target different segments in different markets. So if we just want to specifically target the East Coast, we have a chance to advertise to the East Coast, West Coast, outside the country. So our app gives us the ability to be flexible with our advertisers, which I think we could generate more.
And it'll give our advertisers a good opportunity to release new products, release targeted campaigns, and really get some good feedback and analytics from it.
Sounds like a good idea. So have you gone out there and started soliciting these advertisers yet?
Actually, they kind of came into us.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, just over the past few days, been having a few companies come in interested in talking to us about coming onto our platform, which is like exciting to us because that's something that you got to build up for, and for us to have like a start like that, I think it's a good start for us.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that because you guys have gotten some pretty cool press coverage the last few days or weeks. TechCrunch covered you in a nice article. ESPN Sports Center 6 had a segment on you, I believe, last week, and you've been covered by CBS Sacramento. How did all that stuff come out? Was that organic, or was that something you guys went out and pursued?
It was a little bit of both. It was actually it started with the CBS, the local story, right before college basketball, and they kind of released it. And once it released it was really from our social media, where a lot of people repost and shared it. And from those shares of a lot of our friends that kind of put it out there, that's when the different outlets contacted us and started doing repost stories. So Blavity is like another popular tech blog out there that picked us up. Then from there, went to Sport Techie, to TechCrunch, and to a lot of different media outlets that cover tech and just cover pop culture, and was even part of a meme on social media, which is, it's kind of unreal for us. It was kind of nice. And it kind of just snowballed into more media picking this up and covering the story, which just gave us really great momentum.
So it kind of started with social media campaign then.
Yeah, it was our friends like in our group on Facebook and Instagram that really saw the story and shared it because the Blavity post, the one that kind of like got it out there, they just picked it up. It wasn't no contact from us or anything.
So this wasn't something you asked them to do. They just
Not
it
at
happened.
all. Yeah. And
but it wouldn't have happened if you weren't on social media to begin with.
Correct. Yeah, so it's organic and it's powerful. It amazes me how powerful people are and spreading the word and how fast things could go, and we're like a witness of that.
So I mean, it's a power of social media. So and it always amazes me. I see a lot of startups who don't really take advantage of social media. So here's a good example of how social media has given you guys a boost and gotten you some nice traction from some media outlets. So what's that feel like, getting that kind of traction from ESPN and TechCrunch, for example? Those are big.
It's a great feeling. Actually, when we found out about the ESPN, it was raining that day. It was a Friday. I was in my car, and my mom called me up and said, "Turn on TV on ESPN." But so that was just a great feeling that my mom got to see it live while it was happening. It was such a surprise. And that also just kind of validated, like our journey and us creating this idea and going out and doing it. Like for my family to see that, it was also just a good feeling that it happened, and all our friends reposting it. It just been a real nice feeling.
Yeah, because a few months ago, we were saying what we do. Like you said, we started up an app, but they was kind of looking at us like we was little bums a little bit. So I'm happy that the recognition that's going on right now, it kind of put everything in perspective of what we're doing, and more importantly, like people are seeing the app and getting to it. So
you mentioned earlier you're going to be on NPR, is that right?
Yeah, this is All Things Considered. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And when's that going to be on?
This Saturday.
This Saturday at what time?
I'm not sure the time yet, but it's going to be out on
well, that's the standard
iTunes
time they have that. So anybody listening, tune into All Things Considered on Saturday on NPR, and you can catch an interview. Are they doing an interview or kind of a 2-minute segment?
It was an interview, actually. They called us about 20 minutes, so I don't know how they chop it up and put it together, but it should be coming out this Saturday.
Awesome. Cool. That'll be cool to hear. So aside from the big wins from the media, what are some other big wins or some key learning lessons learned in this little journey you've gone through?
It was actually from the King Startup event. We participated in that event. We practiced real hard, and actually, I'm pretty proud that Trifecta, where we had, they actually won it. But that event was like a real learning lesson for me and Dominic both, because we learned how to work hard, how to go after our dreams, how to try things out. But even though we didn't win, like, not to stop at that point. So that was actually a turning point, because right after that event is when we had the CBS article and the CBS post. So that kind of just taught us that just keep going, like, just keep your way at it.
Yeah, you guys did. I was there. You guys, that was a great pitch.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was nice.
Yeah. So did you get to talk with the Kings management or anything from that? All that?
There was some good words between us and the Kings management, but we didn't really get to talk fully. But it was a great experience that we had.
Okay. So what are some of the biggest challenges you've had to overcome so far on this?
Just keeping up with the speed of things. We had to fix a couple bugs with our app, just product-wise, in terms of meeting the demand of the people, because it's a lot of people for the first time using it, and just keeping it up to speed. Because a few months ago, we didn't really have that issue, but now since everything is kicking into high gear, we just have to move a little quicker on our feet, and things could happen like day by day, which has been experience happening. So just being around the clock available on our app, and that's where we're at right now.
So scaling kind of issues.
Yeah,
scaling, customer service, dealing with users, that's really important. If they tweet you, they Instagram you, they email you, it's important to get back to them in a timely manner and show them that somebody's actually here for their needs. So that was very important.
And it's just you two right now, or do you have a team? Okay, so you guys are having to do all that and answer all the questions and do the...
Yeah, it was just two of us. We just said, hey, what if this app be cool? Like, it wasn't no plan. Well, we always have big plans to do it, but we didn't think it was going to, get as big as it got. So
quick.
Yeah, so quick.
I mean, eventually, we kind of, our projection was a little bit down the line, but this last 2 weeks kind of just boosted up, and now it's forcing us to do things that we haven't done in the past. So we have like 12 to 13-hour days. We're staying up. We have meetings in the morning. So it's really kicked us into overdrive, which is a good thing, because it's just going to get us more sharper.
So what's next?
So next is actually we're looking for funding now. So now we're at the point where our users are stable. People use the app pretty stable. So now we're just looking for some funding to sustain our business and to get it out there even bigger. So we just need about a base that we could get started. And then from there, we're looking to grow and expand.
So what's your user base right now in your downloads like?
We'll say like over the last 10 days, we've been up 15,000 users. So like our trend is kind of trending upwards. Especially
that's probably a really sharp growth curve.
It is.
Dimensions.
It is. And we haven't really accounted for a lot of the SportsCenter ads that have been coming in since that article. And it's just been growing ever since. So we've been growing super fast over these last 2 weeks, and the last 10 days has really showed a spike.
So what advice or tips would you have for other founders out there? Particularly you guys, you're kind of surprised at the success you've had, and so you've got some experience now with that success. What would you recommend or advice to other startups out there?
Just stay hard on your product. Really believe in what you're putting out there, because you never know who's going to see it and who likes it, and always just be prepared, because you got to be prepared for the best. So when something big happens, just be ready to respond to it. That's what we're learning right now.
And I'll say just do like a lot of research too. You're not going to have all the answers all the time, so just do your due diligence, research, study, learn about a product, and just go out there and do it. That's what we learn.
And go learn how to code.
Yeah, we just do whatever you could do. If it's coding, whether it's finance, whether it's press release, whatever form of business that you have to accomplish, don't always look to hire somebody or look for somebody to do it. Just learn how to kind of roll your sleeves up, get your elbows dirty, and go in and do it. That's what kind of attributed to me and Dominic's success, because a lot of times, a lot of resources that we counted on was not always available. And since it's me and him, like, we kind of got to do the whole gamut of the business. And that's what's been our real success, is us just going out there, not being shy, and just getting it done.
What's your experience been like with the Sacramento startup scene? I know you at least are a veteran of Startup Weekend here from last November. Talk a little bit about the startup scene here.
The startup scene is growing. Since I've been in the startup, it was Startup Weekend, right? It was called. Yes, and our team actually won that event. It's been real growing. I made a lot of connections, a lot of friends, a lot of good groups that's surviving, that's still going out there now. So the scene here in Sacramento is really thriving. It's supportive. You see a lot of the same people at the same event, and it just seemed like a hub where people could support each other. So that's what I really love about the Sacramento scene.
Yeah, I mean, I work in San Francisco, so, but just
we'll get you moving here soon, right?
yeah, definitely. But just going to the Capitalize event and seeing other events and hearing from Donte or the events he attended, it sounds like a slept on market. It's a lot of people that have big, ambitious goals, and it seemed like it's all coming together at the right time. And it's a spot where, this could really grow into a power player. I could see it as a Washington, D.C. or a Boston or a Austin, Texas, in terms of startup growth and in terms of a market to look out for.
Yeah, I certainly hope so, and I'm doing what I can to help on that.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's make sure people know about where to go to get your app and your website and where to follow you on Twitter and Instagram and whatnot.
So to get the app, you go to hoopmaps.com. It's right now. It's on the App Store. It's going to be on Android pretty soon, probably before the summer. So. As well as social media, it's at hoopmaps. For Instagram, Twitter is hoopsmaps, and all that information is on our website at hoopmaps.com.
Okay, hoopmaps.com, hoopmaps.com, right?
Correct.
Okay. So any other last words of advice or anything else you'd like to share or give a shout out to?
Yeah, we like to, give a shout out to Trifecta for this nice
Yeah,
space.
definitely.
And a shout out to you, Jeff, for always, doing a good job bringing entrepreneurs on and discovering entrepreneurs and let people see other entrepreneurs in the area. So we really appreciate you putting us on the platform.
You're welcome. So I said that was the last question, but I'm going to follow it up with the final thing. The Final Four is coming up. Who you guys got?
You go first.
Okay. I got, I did say North Carolina before we start, but I'm going with the Zags,
Gonzaga and Donte.
I'm going to keep it West Coast. I'm going to go with Oregon.
All right, so 2 West Coast teams winning. Okay, we'll see who comes out. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate the time and wish you best of luck with Hoop Maps.
Thank you.